Jake Paul has this fight with this guy. Andre August, right? And then Georgienko goes and flies out to Romania, and he sits down with Andrew Tate, and they have this interview, right? And the interview does very, very well. George is a phenomenal interviewer, a Syrian guy. We make the introduction. They go. They have a great time. Andrew's like, absolutely, I'd love to sit down with him. And the interview was, by the way, he's actually I don't know if you saw it or not. He's a phenomenal interviewer. But it leads to this conversation about the Tate brothers fighting Jake and Logan Paul. I just want to play this to you and get a reaction to see if you have any reaction. This is George asking Andrew, and we'll play the video from Logan Paul giving his thoughts. Go for it.
Okay. Two brothers, one cage. Jake, Logan, you, Tristan. Who comes out alive?
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs. I'm really trying not to.
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie. I'm going through life. I'm trying to live peaceful now. I've got Fed agents in my house. Matrix is after me. I'm just trying to live peaceful. But of course, I have absolute faith in myself and my brother, and I know what we've been through, and I know the kind of men we are.
So now
okay.
play the
Two
clip
brothers.
from what Logan says. Go for it.
That's delusion. That's delusion. I'm sorry.
ain't beef.
Look, Andrew, fighter, legitimate, badass motherfucker,
Yeah.
strong mentality. I'm sorry, Tristan Tate is the weak link.
I say let's
He
run
got a bad shoulder. He's shaped like a gingerbread man. I don't want no beef, but that's
PFL
delusion.
PFO will set this up.
A MMA
10
double
million,
tag team match.
10 million for everybody.
You might have a fight on your hands.
That would go crazy.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. No, seriously.
I'm
let's
about
do
the
it.
action. Like I'm less talk now. Let's just fucking go.
Yo, but you know for a fact, me and Jake will travel to Romania.
you go.
We will make this happen. We'll do it wherever you want, whatever conditions you want. That's that.
Okay, so obviously we talked earlier about who are good talkers and personality and shit talkers, all that stuff. I mean, Jake is fighting, making 10 million, 20 million a fight that he's setting up, right? They're making all this money with all these fights. What do you think about the idea of, Jake and Logan Paul fighting Andrew and Tristan Tate?
I mean, I don't. What kind of fight? What are they doing?
Exactly. Is it boxing or is it MMA?
If it's an MMA fight, I think that favors Jake and Logan
It favors if it's MMA.
for sure. Jake and Logan for sure.
Wait, Jake and Logan?
Yeah, Logan Paul. It favors them.
Why
would
is
you
that?
say that?
I mean, they actually wrestled.
Yeah, but these guys get the kicks, man. They're kickboxers.
Yeah, that's actually a disadvantage when it comes to wrestlers. If I catch a kick and you fall down, it's different. And it's a different balance. When you're a kickboxer, you have to be a little bit more upright because you have to be able to check kicks and stuff. When you're a boxer, you have to be a little bit more split stance because you have to give half your body. So it's different styles. But once you get that takedown, a kickboxer or a boxer has no... See, people don't realize that the regular human don't realize just
The regular.
I guess I would say
Just
maybe
civilian.
the civilian human doesn't realize that it's an actual skill to be able to get off of your back.
Yeah.
As a man, can you imagine being held on your back and someone just tells you, get off your back, and you can't do it?
Yes.
Think about that.
Yeah, it sucks.
I could hold somebody on their back for a day or two if I wanted to.
Give
and
them
you
snacks.
you are just on your back.
Vin,
and
you want to give it a shot?
I can feed you grapes if I and there's
Bathroom break
and
on your
there's-
back.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like that's
Are you saying wrestling is the most important thing?
Or just grappling.
in mixed martial arts,
Yeah.
100%. It's
Really?
that grab 100% because the thing is, if you think about a fight, there's only 3 places a fight can take. There's 3 positions to a fight. Think about it. We're both standing up, trading punches. That's one. That's a neutral position. We're both standing up. 2, I can be on my back. You're on top of me, landing punches. Or I can be on top of you, on your back, landing punches. So 67% of a fight takes place on the ground. Now, as a wrestler, my discipline is being able to control which real estate that fight is taking place. So I'm well versed at being down there. So 67% is a chance that I'm gonna win this fight. And then there's a 33% chance that in a neutral position, anything can happen. So think about that. Most people don't think about that. Like I've won 2/3 of a fight. I've won already because of being a wrestler to just a normal person who knows how to throw hands. And so if I'm well versed in that place, I can take you down there, or I have the ability to stop you from taking me down there. So it's if you can wrestle, that's one of the most important aspects of being able to defend yourself.
So in high school, you were what, 55-3 or some record?
No, it was definitely more than that. But it's I think that was my senior year, my senior season.
And is
It's
that
like
why you were saying? Is that
54.
why you were saying that the Paul brothers having the wrestling background, that's that big of an advantage? So
It's an advantage. I mean, obviously, it's declined because they haven't been wrestling continuously
Logan
since they
has.
wrestled
I mean, he's
in
doing his
high school.
WWE thing.
Yeah, but that's different wrestling. That's entertainment.
You're so funny.
Like
That's
dancing.
I'm just saying he's training, guys.
Adam, stop that.
That's it.
Hold
That's-
on. Breaking
like-
news. You're saying that WWE isn't real?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Rob, don't start crying.
Well, I didn't say that.
Yeah, but
I didn't say
come
that.
on.
But real quick, I want to know how important size is, because I got to stand up for my guy Tristan, because I actually asked Tristan that exact same question when we were in Romania. I asked literally the same question George Janko asked him. I said, you and Andrew walk in a room, Logan and the Paul brothers. I said, who walks out alive? He's like, come on, I don't want to play this juvenile game, but come on.
Yeah,
But my point is this. Tristan is bigger than any of those guys. Tristan's a legit 6'4", big
He's a legit
ass dude.
6'4",
man.
Yeah, no, size is important
Yeah.
for sure. But listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Tristan doesn't stand a chance. Like that's no, absolutely not. I'm not saying that. Like if this is just a fight,
Yeah.
they definitely have a good chance. I would say probably, I would have said Andrew Tate probably is the more, versatile one, the more skilled one out of all of them. But Jake is definitely
coming on.
and I can just tell from that interview, you can see the brothers and you see the differences. Jake is starting to turn into the athlete, the competitor. Initially, it wasn't like that. It was just entertainment purposes. He was he's still handpicking guys and to test himself. But that's boxing. You gotta get your bearings before you jump into world championship fights. So, more power to what he's doing. But he's handpicking fights. But he's starting to turn into an athlete, and you can see it just from sitting there. When you're an athlete and you're climbing, you start to get this chip on your shoulder. And you see the difference between him and Logan. Logan is more of the business guy. And Logan's obviously a little bit more mature, a little bit older, to where he's more relaxed in his answers, to where Jake is kind of the chip on the shoulder. We can do it right now. I'm about to action. You can see that in them. So he's starting to become the athlete.
What's Jake's upside? If he continues down this path and he's not doing sort of puff pieces and all that, and he's actually fighting in the boxing world.
Yeah.
Right? Because he fought Tyson Fury's brother,
Yeah,
Tommy
Tommy
Fury.
didn't work out.
He lost. That was the first
by the way,
actual
but he had a good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
no doubt, but he lost.
Yeah, he wasn't stopped. I mean, it wasn't like just being outclassed in any way.
No, it was close, and I think at one point he knocked Tommy down. But what's his upside if he continues down this path? He's pretty young. What is he, 26?
No, I mean, the sky's the limit. He continued to do his thing. The sky's the limit. What he's being able to do to blend what he's doing, blending both the entertainment aspect of it and still be able to compete is I guess, I don't want to say he's one of the first to do it, but at this level, and in the beginning stages when you're 0-0 and then your first fight and or your second fight and you're getting these many eyeballs and the internet to watch this. I mean, it's great.
Speaking of the internet, would this be the biggest fight of all time? Most viewed fight of all time.
What?
The Tates versus the Pauls. Do you don't think that they would get eyeballs?
If it was in a cage.
You don't think so?
All right, come on.
Well,
Guys, this is the attention economy, the eyeball economy.
Okay, well, it depends
You
on
don't
what
think that would be a top 5, top 10 fight?
Okay, it depends on what you're
Eyeballs
talking about.
all time?
Eyeballs.
Listen,
That's what I'm saying, eyeballs.
Listen, I guess, for entertainment aspect, because the world now is just so polluted with what we call entertainment. Like it's the world isn't really, it's just want to be entertained by junk. And it's junk. Junk sells more than actual reality until the world gets real. And now let's be honest. When Mayweather wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao, that's the world recognizing that these are the two of the best athletes in their respective fields doing this. This is something special that we have to watch. And you saw what that did. That pro records. But then you get you get another piece like Mayweather and McGregor, where it's they're two of the best in their respective sports. But we're curious. We just want to see what this looks like, so the world tunes in. But I mean, you just get guys that just fighting for the heck of it, and like let's just lock the Tate brothers in a room for these guys. I mean, they're not the best in their respective fields, but
No, but they're the best at getting eyeballs. Is my point.
Yeah, but my thing is this.
How many eyeballs did
By the way, Mayweather made
Logan?
$280 million on the fight,
Crazy.
and McGregor made 130.
But at the end of the day, Kamaru, it's like all respect. When people are like, no, you a hater. I'm not a hater. Logan and Jake Paul started on Vine. They're social media guys, all right?
Yeah.
Don't you think, like, to me, this is me, it lessens the integrity of the sport of boxing. Because it's like, okay, I get it that, Jake is getting better and he's coming up a bro. And the Fury guys, whatever, he ain't fighting a real professional boxer. That would be a completely different thing. And my question to you is, Kamaru, like, their fight, like, they would never go MMA. Like an actual professional, they're fighting these people. If you think Jake or Logan Paul
What
can
he's
last,
saying is, if they go MMA, they have the advantage.
no, I'm saying in general because they're not. Who's the biggest guy Jake Paul has fought? Like, I mean,
Like,
because Logan
best
fought
fighter?
Logan
Probably
fought
Woodley.
Mayweather,
There
and
is
that was
no, just so you know, what he's saying is, there is no case study to see who Jake Paul has fought in MMA because Jake is only boxed, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is Andrew and Tristan. They're conditioning. They're not going to be in the same conditioning as Logan and Jake are because Logan and Jake are like in their 20s, going,
Of course.
running. The amount of distractions Andrew and Tristan have had right now, like, there's no way you set up that fight if you need payday. They don't need to make money. They're okay when it comes
chilling.
onto that side. But it would get a lot of eyeballs. I would have liked to have seen them peak to peak competing to see what that looks like. But Kamaru is clearly saying, he's not saying if they do boxing, Jake and Logan have the advantage. He's saying if they do mixed martial arts, they have an advantage due to their wrestling abilities.
that would be very interesting.
It's
to see.
exactly
I mean,
why.
it just if it's let's just say a fight, there's no rules out there. If we're in the street, it's a fight. Obviously without weapons.
Yeah.
We're in the street, it's a fight. Yeah, obviously Jake and you look at a street fight. Most cases, where is that gonna end up?
Yeah.
Two guys rolling on the ground.
Yep.
Okay.
So if Jake and Logan have actually been trained at some point in how to take the fight down there or how to get up from there, I mean, you don't think they have the advantage if a fight breaks out? They 100% do.
Maybe.
And now they also are trained to stand and throw punches as well. Which before you would give that advantage to Andrew Tate because he had been kickboxing for a while. But that's a fight.
Yeah.
They have that advantage in that realm. But
I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm rooting for the Tates, guys. That's it. I want to see this
but
fight.
I
I wanna
mean,
see the Tates.
I'm not saying I'm rooting for this guy or that guy, but I'm just giving you the facts here. Like they would, because they know how. Okay, if I grab this leg, I run him this way, he's gonna fall down. Or if I run him that way, the balance, I compromise the balance and I get him down there. So yeah, that's a skill in itself. Being able to know that it's different. If Andrew Tate was to grab a leg, I don't know if he trained wrestling, but if he hasn't trained wrestling, it's a lot different.
Yeah. Do you guys think? Here's my thing. The Tates aside, do you think that they would ever? I'm talking about the Logan brothers. They would
Paul brothers.
transition. Yeah, whatever. I can
Transition to mixed
Would they
martial
transit?
arts?
Like for instance, like Woodley went from he's an MMA guy, but he boxed. What's his name?
Yes.
One of the Jake Paul.
he
or whatever.
boxed Jake.
Do you think he
Got knocked out.
What I'm saying is,
get
I
a
don't think.
tattoo of his
I do
name.
not think they would last 2 minutes in a ring with like an MMA guy that's no holds barred fight, like a real fight. Boxing.
He's fought Woodley. Woodley. So
No, what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is, if Woodley fought Logan Paul and it was an MMA like UFC type fight, who wins that fight?
Oh, come on, bro.
I mean, it's depending on depending on time.
You don't think
given them
Woodley would
time.
absolutely destroy any of
From
the
the
Paul
fighting, from
brothers?
the- from-
Destroy.
I don't want to say destroy. I do think Woodley wins for sure, but I don't want to say destroy.
In an
because,
MMA fight?
I mean, the fight starts. The fight starts
on
with
the-
your feet.
on their feet.
You're throwing hands.
Oh, man.
And they've competed against each other throwing hands, and we saw how that went. And so I wouldn't say, oh, he would destroy him. I do give Woodley the upper hand because Woodley is a better wrestler than them, at least accolade-wise. But it's a different game now, I think. And then also you got to account for how much time are we giving them to train? Are we giving them a whole year and a half or 2 years to train for this? You know, because that definitely makes, you know, it definitely makes things a little bit interesting. But I wouldn't say that they would never go into MMA because I think they're young enough and smart enough business-wise to where they understand if I'm going to make X amount of dollars, why not?
FTM, follow the money.
Would you ever participate in something like that? Like in the future, doing like a boxing exhibition or not? Is it called an exhibition or is it actually
exhibition? I mean, yeah,
exhibition against somebody like that.
Fight. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind. Not too long ago.
You heard it here first,
Not too
Jake.
long ago, I was crazy enough to where I really. That's the thing. I was in my mind. I was gonna get Canelo. I wanted.
Oh,
Canelo.
really?
Really?
I wanted Canelo so bad.
Damn.
2021, I wanted him so bad. You know, it's this thing. There's this aura of invincibility that when you are an athlete and you put so much time in, nothing can stop you. You are literally just a shield. Nothing can stop you. And I wanted Canelo bad.
Oh, that would have been sick.
And I was like, man, you know. So you saw what Francis and Tyson Fury. I was on that level of belief, if not more. You know, I wanted Canelo.
And in boxing, straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I mean,
Why not? Why not?
How do you think you would have done against Canelo?
How do
Your
I think I
prime,
would
his
have done?
prime, yeah.
I think I would have given him hell for the first 4 rounds, for sure. I think I would have given him hell. But then after 4, let's be real here. These guys, that's what he does. These guys do this.
Yeah.
And it's a skill in itself. Like, and you watch guys shadow box, you know, and it looks silly. You know, these guys are just punching air. But people don't realize how hard that is to do. You just do that. And these guys, it's a skill to be able to do it for 12 rounds,
Right.
13, 20, however many rounds they choose to do that. Just to be able to have the level of just focus, just to be able to just sit there and punch air and imagine someone in front of you. It's a skill. And, you know, and they just have the timing. They see punches. They know the sequence of punches. If you're going to throw, you're going to hit him with the jab right hand. They know a left hook is coming. They know to roll. They know to do that. Like, it's just a mastery that they learn. And so for the first 4 rounds, it's going to be a little confusing because my sequence is going to be a lot different than most boxers. You know, boxers can throw 5, 6 punch combinations. You know, I might hit him with 2. He might be expecting more. No, it's not coming. And then another one comes at, you know, so it's going to take him time to be able to compute what's going on. But after 4, I can't promise what's going to happen. But
By the way, I'm not going to lie, that Mayweather counterfight,
was
you know,
better.
it was actually really.
I've got hands.
No,
he
I was
boxes.
very impressed with that fight. And it wasn't a waste of you're like, what a waste of money for this fight. I was actually entertained.
Yeah.
I was actually entertained.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.